so much for your time. So glad that you're here. We want to start with what's right now, and of course, you wrote an op-ed that was out this morning.
Okay.
So, Colin Kaepernick, a lot of people have, you've called Colin Kaepernick's Anthem protest highly patriotic. Why is that?
Well, I think, you know, if you look back at what Thomas Jefferson said, he said we had to protect people's speech who say things that we don't approve of. He said that was more important than protecting the speech of people who we approve of. And he's absolutely right. Without the ability to have freedom of speech, we wouldn't have this great nation. So that's why I wrote what I wrote. I think that what Colin is doing, there's an issue that he feels is very important to him, and he wanted to attract some attention to it. So he used his position to do that. Now maybe people didn't like his tone or the venue that he chose, but he's doing it really for a positive reason.
Could he have done it in a better way, in your mind?
I'm sure that is the criticism that most people will say, you know, that he should have picked a better time and a better place to do it. But, you know, it was up to him, and he did have an opportunity, and he took it. So, you know, I'm not going to judge him on that.
And we're talking about it.
Yeah.
A lot of kids look up to Colin as a role model.
Yes.
How do you think his actions, what kind of effect will it have on the younger generation?
I think it all depends on Colin's follow-up. All right, if Colin follows this up with getting involved in the issues, and I believe what the issue was, the fact that so many young black Americans have been killed for no good reason by police officers. This is a serious issue. So I hope he does something about it, you know, something concrete other than just his protest. I hope he follows through with it.
You talk in your book about racial inequality. To you, how do we fix it? Well, first of all, what does racial inequality mean to you in the present day?
Well, it means that certain people have privileges and other people are marginalized. And usually it's an issue of color or class. Sometimes class discrimination is very pervasive. Poverty is really the biggest burden that anybody faces in America. The fact that they don't have resources and the school system really does not serve their needs.
And how do we fix it?
You know, we're going to have to spend the money to get the teachers back in the classroom. So many teachers just don't teach because it's not practical for them. They don't make the money that they need to make in order to take care of their family. So they do other things. But I think if we get to that point where we are willing to spend the money, the American school system worked very well for the longest time. But we see now, in the past couple of decades, American students are not doing as well vis-a-vis students from other highly industrialized countries. And that is a direct result of us trying to save money by cutting back on school budgets. I think that needs to stop.
And I want to transition to politics. You've spoken a lot about Trump. You're Muslim. He's said that he wants to register all Muslims and keep them out of the country. How does that sit with you, especially because he has a big immigration speech coming up tomorrow in Arizona?
Well, discrimination is not going to make us safer, and it's not going to make America great. We're great because we understand that people should be judged on the content of their character. If there are legitimate reasons to keep somebody out of this country, I'm all for it. I don't want terrorists running around here threatening anybody. But just saying that because someone practices a certain faith that they are a terrorist, that's wrong. That's discrimination. That's bigotry, and we don't need that.
And what do you think? I know you spoke at the convention recently,
yeah.
And you made a joke
right.
about being Michael Jordan, I believe.
Yes.
Why do you think it was important to speak there, and what do you hope people take away from that?
Well, I wanted people to understand just what American Muslims have given to our country. So introducing the film on Humayun Khan, and then his dad and mom came out after that. That was very important, that people understand how patriotic American Muslims are, and that they are willing to pay the ultimate price and sacrifice. Mr. Khan lost his son, and he had no problems with it. He knew it was for the best of causes, which is to to protect and preserve the United States of America. You can't have a better cause than that. And Muslims support that cause too. People have to understand that.
All right, writings on the wall, new book out. Very good. Did you have something?
I did. You know, you and Muhammad Ali and all, you know, during your time playing, you guys were a big part of political action and movement.
Mm-hmm.
How does that sort of relate to today's and
The now.
and the way you went about it versus the way it's done now?
Well, I don't think there's any, there hasn't been any gap between then and now. I mean, issues have come and gone on a regular basis ever since the beginning of the Civil Rights Movement immediately after World War II. There is no gap. Some of the same issues are still here. There are states in the Union that are suppressing voter rights. Well, that was happening right after World War II, when Black Americans continued to be denied the right to vote in the American South. And now that's still happening. So some of the issues just haven't changed. It's just been a little bit of time, and we're moving faster, and we have social media, but the same issues are still here.
And that's what you said in your article, that we should be more horrified by the fact that 50 years later we're still talking about racial inequality.
We're still talking about it and still trying to fix it. I mean, this is a very intransigent problem, and we still have work to do in order to fix it so that it's not going to be detrimental to our fellow citizens. I think that's the key. We got to take that out of the picture.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
You believe it starts with education, though.
Absolutely. I mean, that's always a key. And when you get people to support a vigorous and complete education, you get all of a sudden there's no more brain drain. You know, brain drain starts flowing back into the United States.
Do you credit your own education for shaping you?
Oh, if it wasn't for my education, I wouldn't be who I am. And that was something that my parents and especially my grandmother made sure that we all understood that, everybody in my family.
Well, you're a great role model to many generations.
Oh,
so
thank you. Yeah.
It's an honor.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a great